Hi, this is Neville J. Mackenzie with Asia Tech Podcast, and my guests today are Saurish, Nandi, and Kenny Ko. Yep, I got that right?
Good afternoon.
You got it right, yeah.
Yeah, pleased to have you here.
Thank you.
Can you just, Kenny, can you just introduce yourself and your company?
Oh, okay. I'm the CEO and co-founder of the BlocBox, and Saurish is my CTO and co-founder. So BlocBox is a new startup. Basically, it's a company that deals with data analytics for transport assets. Largely, you are talking about ships as well as aviation planes and commercial planes and things.
Yeah. So can you just tell me a bit more about your background?
Myself, I have been operating a satellite communication company for, I think, 16 years now. Sorry, 17. It's 2019. So, it's 17 years. For the past 17 years, I have been providing a remote communication, for land and transport assets like ships, as well as of recent, even planes. So, yes, I have been doing that for the past 17 years and right until now I started the BlocBox.
Okay, and you started it with Saurish?
Yeah.
So Saurish, can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Yeah, so I have been with ship management and ship owning companies for the last 15 years and mostly handling the procurement section. So I was global head of procurement in my previous company, which is Rick Merce Ship Management. And while I was in the procurement, I realized that there's lack of data analytics and data analytics tools in the maritime scenario as such. So then that's when I decided let me start something of my own. And there were not enough vendors who were providing this service. So I thought, why don't I take my expertise of procurement and the maritime and analytics and start something of my own? And then happened to meet Kenny, who had a very interesting idea of how to put data on blockchain. And then we got together and we said, hey, let's do something on this. And then that's how the BlocBox came about. So BlocBox is basically black box on blockchain. Yeah.
So how did you meet?
So that technically, Saurish was my customer. As you know, I provide satellite comms for most of his vessels in his company. His global procurement. So, of course, we communicate a lot because there were so many ships that is under Saurish management, and then that he has at that time he was already constantly doing analytics for his fleet of vessels. He's doing it in a very manual way. Right. He gets the ship captain to send data on Excel file, and sometimes dealing with ship captains can be challenging, and the transmission of that itself, it's also a little bit flimsy. So as he mentioned, so he was having a lot of frustration, and on one hand he was trying to analyze so that he could optimize the management of the vessel and manage the cost of operating that vessel. But on the other hand, he has a lot of difficulty getting all this data and all that. So one fine day, while we were having our meetings and all that, I just briefly mentioned that if only we could put data onto a blockchain or on a cloud, right? For the VDR. A VDR is actually a black box, a black box that is on a plane. Similarly, it's mandatory for all ships to have the black box. So I was just telling him, if we had this data, this black box data on the blockchain itself, then it solves a lot of problems. And one obvious problems is obviously if the plane goes down, like the most high profile case of recent is MH370.
Yeah.
In an issue like that, right? The plane could not be found till today. Or some people say they're found in Cambodia. That's the latest news. But it has been 4 years. Nothing, no leads, and nobody knows why, when, or how did the plane go down. But imagine if we had that data already on the blockchain, then there's no need to look for answers by retrieving the physical capsule. So that's for aviation. And in the case for maritime, right, on the ships, first of all, it solves the problem of retrieving data. That's for the case of like storage problem, and in the incident of a collision between two vessels and whatsoever, our experience tells us that depending on which side you are on, the side that is making that mistake will have this tendency to tamper with the data or deliberately misplace the data or turn off the black box on the ship, things like that. But if this data is on the chain real time, then no more monkey business. So these are the benefits, the obvious benefits that you could see from having data analytics and storing them onto a blockchain. Nobody can tamper it.
So you're saying that the data is constantly being updated, or
yes,
is that from your connection with the satellite that is
That's right.
constantly being updated via satellite?
That's right.
Exactly.
Okay.
And because a lot of people ask us, why wasn't thought about before, or why was so?
I was going to get onto that.
Yeah, because the satellite communications maybe 3-4 years back was not as advanced, and that's where our team's expertise come in, because Kenny has a deep experience in satellite communication. So we have 2 co-founders who are actually in satellite communication and 2 who are from the maritime background.
So you're half the team.
Yes, we have the team. So half the team is working. So someone has to take care of the office. But so it was a perfect marriage, because nowadays you almost have, even if you travel with A380 Emirates and all those airlines, you actually have internet for even the passengers. So this is the satellite communications is improving. There's more connectivity. It's cheaper, and hence we can actually now talk about all the solutions.